Okay, wonderful. Looks like we were able to set up the new streaming feature as well, so perfect. The music can stop and we can begin. Awesome. Thank you again, everyone, for being here today and for sharing your time, your wisdom, and everything with us. I look very much forward to getting started. And usually what I like to do before actually kind of getting us situated is taking some time to talk a little bit about myself. And then if you'd like offer an opportunity to share, you can do so as well. Now, that also will mean we're not coming off mics at this time, just because at a kind of a basic level, the truth is that we've had some disruptions in the past, and I don't foresee them actually happening today, but it's always, we need to kind of keep these sacred boundaries to make sure that this space is safe for everyone. And, you're, again, welcome to share basically instead in the chat. And that way, what I'll do is I'll read out whatever you would like to say, and I can also keep it anonymous if you'd like that to be the case. And that way we can keep it kind of a wonderful space for everyone. Okay, so perfect. To introduce myself, and thank you for the hearts. Yes, I appreciate that. So to introduce myself, my name is Leah, and my medicine name is Precious Thunder Warrior. I was given that name by my Mayan teacher, who I was basically taught by her. I was an apprentice to her, and I was also a teacher in that space. And so I have kind of done a lot of work with understanding indigenous medicine, wisdom, healing work, and in that way kind of came into my own and the practice I have now through that. Beyond that, I also have privately worked with kind of witchcraft, maybe like eclectic hedge witchcraft, I think I might call it, and working with kind of Buddhism and Shaktism, and even more so also trying to connect to my ancestors and the work that they have done. What that means is pulling from kind of two separate lineages as I'm mixed. So on the maternal lineage, and my maternal side is also Libra, actually. So perfect to be pulling that in today, the divine feminine through that. Kind of a mix of Western European, Northern European, and Slavic Eastern European. So pulling from kind of the Celtic and the Druid to the Norse. I love the rune reading and Sather, and kind of working with trance and working with that Slavic kind of Baba Yaga energy as well. And then on the other side, on the paternal lineage, I'm pulling actually from the magic and wisdom of ancient Babylon, pulling kind of from these Mesopotamian, sort of the people between the Tigris and the Euphrates, looking at the rituals and the kind of medicine work, which for them was exorcism and alchemy, as a way to kind of understand how that, Babylonian and ancient Egyptian wisdom became alchemy, which in turn became Hermeticism, which in turn became kind of like mystical and esoteric thought. And now we're here kind of working with witchcraft, where we're going back to the roots, but we're also kind of going back to kind of analyzing the way that we talk about magic in this sort of esoteric fashion. So I like that I'm pulling from both, and I often am excited to share with you a blend of both. Kind of as we'll be doing today, but specifically we're here to talk about the new moon in Libra. And what I will do after I open the space, if anyone would like to share, is I will, or just to, give people an opportunity to say hi if they'd like to, I will go into a little bit of a talk just about what we're doing today, the astrology report, if you will, for this moment. And beyond that, we'll go into two meditations, the first one being a healing and kind of group Reiki session where I send Reiki to the group and we'll be doing some healing. And then for the second one, what we'll do is, I like to call it our ceremony, and we will go into kind of a spiritual trance, welcoming the goddesses and faces of Venus, because that is the association with Libra. and we'll do kind of a very divine feminine meditation. If you've been here before, you'll know that that's not always in character for me, but I do really love working with the divine feminine. And I think this is going to be a really soft and very special kind of warming healing. So I am really grateful for your presence here. And if you're able to stay until the end, I completely welcome you. You are welcome and wanted here in this space. And let's see, without further ado, I'd like to open the floor. If you'd like, you can write in the chat. I'm trying to go live through this like multiple platforms right now. So I think I might be live on Facebook. I'm not 100% sure, but I'm going to see if I am. And then I'm going to see if I can find anywhere folks would like to chat. Oh, perfect. Okay. And I see Joanna, and Joanna says hi with lots of hearts, waving and kisses. Thank you, Joanna. And it's always a pleasure to have you. Joanna, I know that you are an air sign, so I think this will be a wonderful kind of balancing of the thought and, allowing for that duality of Libra, duality of the air to flow through you. And as always with this new moon, I know, it's going through a move, and I am myself. Let's welcome in that new energy, those new blessings. Thank you, Joanna, and thank you for being here today. Awesome. Cool. And no one else really has to speak if you don't want to. Oh, I see some folks. Wonderful, wonderful. Summer's here, and Summer says, so happy to be back in your presence, and especially excited because my sun sign is in Libra. Wow, welcome, Summer. I'm always happy to have you. Ahlan wa sahlan. Ahlan Fiki. It's always a pleasure, and I'm grateful that you could join us today. Love to hear that there's some Libra energy in the space, and I think absolutely this is a time to bring in that gentle comfort, and Libra is such a nourishing sign, so how perfect then that as you're moving through kind of a new beginning, that you're able to do so with this gentleness. I think that's available. So I hope that this kind of new solar return that's coming to you, happy birthday, and happy kind of new moon birthday as well. And I hope that this finds that gentleness for you. Thank you for being here, Summer. I see Jessica. Jessica says, hi, everyone, Gardnerian priestess, Libra sun and moon. Thanks for this space. Oh, wow, that's wonderful. I have to be honest, I'm not familiar with Gardnerian priestess work, but I think that sounds absolutely phenomenal. And grateful that we are sharing that priestess energy. This is such a priestess moment, I feel like. I know High Priestess. I'm actually not familiar exactly with her, but I feel like it's definitely connected to the moon in some way. But I think that Libra kind of divine feminine is so strong. So yes, welcome. That sun and moon, you're here for your solar return and your moon's return in a way as well. And I think that's so fabulous. So welcome and thank you. Thank you, Jessica. Welcome. Zoom user is here. I feel like you were here previously, but I'm not sure if that's true. But Zoom user says, thank you for sharing and offering this event. Thank you so much, Zoom user, and welcome. Happy to have you, truly. I'm happy to see you back, if that is you that's back. Summer says, hearts and feeling it already. Thank you, Summer. Yes, Amin to that. Amin. It's a really wonderful new moon, I feel like, this time. Renea says, hi, my name is Renea, and I'm happy to be here. My birthday was Friday, 9/23, and I lean towards Libra. Lovely. Welcome, Renea. I'm actually also a Virgo Libra cusp. I think is that right on the cusp? Or is that, it's either right on the cusp of Virgo or right on the cusp of Libra with leaning towards your Libra sun. So that's really special, happening right as this new moon is passing. Happy belated birthday, and grateful that you're kind of able to do this Libra upgrade, activation, transition with us. Much much gratitude for you being here. Thank you. And Katya's here and she says, hello, everyone. Lots of hearts. Thank you, Katya, and thank you for being here. I appreciate you. And I know you've been around recently, so thank you for joining us and continuing to join us and be in this space. Okay, so I think we're good to get started. And if folks want to share more, you're welcome to. I see, let's see. I think that's it. Perfect. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start the recording now. If you'd like to ask questions once the recording button's been hit, you can do so, but I will just read your name anonymously at that time, just for the recording. Okay. Perfect. Okay, and welcome again, everyone. Thank you so much for being here and for sharing this moment with us. I am so grateful for each and every one of you and happy to be kind of moving together with this energy in this space and this time. So let's talk a little bit about what we're here to talk about today, which is Libra and this new moon in Libra. So we are just crossing into the sign of Libra. I believe we did so basically on the equinox, which was on Thursday. And so Libra is an air sign, often thought of as being connected to kind of pink and green and heart energy, and is deeply connected to Venus. It is it is ruled by Venus, basically. And it's often considered a sign of cooperation and of diplomacy, of graciousness, fair-mindedness, and kind of warm, social, harmonic kind of dualities and partnerships. It is often also a sign that is associated with justice, as it is symbolized by the scales. And so it is often not just kind of a balance, but a balance that's sort of coming into the natural order, being kind of in partnership and in harmony and at peace with everything around you or Libra or etc., and kind of allowing for symmetry in life to basically guide you. And so when we're working with this justice and equality, this is also about accountability. And I think that this is something that Libra is kind of inviting us all to be open to, is to allow that kind of inner beauty and outer beauty to be reflected and to keep showing up and doing the work to make sure that that beauty continues. Thinking about the moment that we're in, which is the new moon specifically, we've kind of been in an interesting astrological moment. September had, it's an equinox and we're going through these retrogrades. And so what that all kind of means is everything is feeling kind of slow. Everything is inviting us to pause and to rest. And we're really it's kind of opening us up for what is really the winter seasons, which is the time of dreaming and the time of endings, and is the time of, hibernation, right? So with all of this retrograde, we're really opening ourselves to foggy mind and potentially clouded thoughts and even clouded judgments. How perfect then that with clouded judgment, we are being invited kind of through an intuitive space with the new moon in Libra, the opportunity then to gather wisdom and insight for our inner world from the sign of justice and of loving justice in a way. So that I think is really at the heart of what this new moon is. It's bringing kind of an open, expansive, and gentle energy, which reminds us to kind of keep our feet balanced as we might be feeling out of sorts or needing to adjust to what might be multiple kind of, you might say, targets or, situations that are being thrown at us at this time. So as we're in this kind of dark night of the new moon, this is a great time to allow ourselves to kind of get cozy and be with the preciousness of the self and the preciousness of the energy of the self. And always remember at the same time as we're being kind with ourselves, that soft kindness is what is deserved for every other living being. You know, animists might say that even the trees and the stones have consciousness. So all of these things and all of these consciousnesses are precious. And that kind of rest and relaxed heart that we're all connecting to right now for ourselves, we can allow that to extend far beyond even our own existence and our own heart. Because Libra is very much an outward energy, even though it's balanced. It's very much like Gemini. And Gemini, I feel like, is kind of the playfulness, and Libra is kind of the romance. Though there's romance in both, as Gemini is the Lover's card as well, but then Libra is ruled by Venus. So there's really, it's kind of a wonderful way to show that there's this outward, really in both cases, of pouring out love beyond just yourself and connecting to others beyond just yourself. Furthermore, the final kind of note is that Jupiter is actually with us today. So even though we're doing this very divine feminine healing that we're going to be open to, the divine masculine can be in the background if you'd like to work with it. Jupiter being the planet of expansion, opportunity, abundance, really empowering and deepening that sweetness that's going to be coming from the new moon in Libra. It's an opportunity to fully illuminate everything that we need to see with greater clarity and a higher perspective today. And also to kind of use what's being awakened at this kind of more subtle level, sort of to make the subverted overt and to inspire the power behind the subtle, so that our awareness expands to a positivity that is not, again, like not just at center, but it is greater, it is beyond that. And I feel like I'm repeating myself, but that's really what the moment is. So I guess that's why it needs to be explained. So it's a time of love, it's a time of beauty, and it's a time also of luck and fortune and kind of general power. So, you know, as with all new moons, now is a great time to make intentions around this energy, to set new intentions, to allow for a new beginning in your life, and to be mindful of, you know, this next 30-day cycle. What can you invite and what can you achieve that will kind of send you in the direction that you need to go in? Transformation, new beginnings, and even endings, I think, are all possible. And what's also exciting is after this final cycle, this moon cycle from beginning to end, we're going to be going into eclipse season, which is transformation kind of times 1,000. So welcome in those sweet vibrations now so that you can really kind of harvest them soon as we move into the really disruptive eclipse energy. And just kind of keep moving with the dream, keep being with the dream. I think there's a lot here for everyone to gather for yourself and for this kind of opportunity with the retrograde and with eclipses coming up for like deep change that will, you know, it's all for the better. But as we're doing it and we're working with this new moon energy, we can do it in a way where, you know, we're a little detached, we're not so worried about it. And perhaps we're even kind of feeling very like lightly excited and happy that that change is finally coming for us. So perfect. I think this is a great time to get started. Again, thank you for being here. And if you ever have any questions, you're welcome to ask at any time. Otherwise, I think let's go ahead and get started with the music. And let's see if I'm missing any questions anywhere else. I don't believe I am. Perfect. Okay, so the music can get started and we'll begin. Okay. So we're going to begin with this first meditation, which will go into a group Reiki healing. And then after this, we'll take a break and we'll go into our ceremony. So beginning now, at the beginning, let's take a moment and be with the breath, letting it sit naturally as it falls. And now when I say 9, we'll breathe in to the count of 9. And when I say 9, we'll breathe out. And I'll guide you for a bit of a guided deepening of our breath. Breathing in now, 9. And breathing out, 9. Breathing in, 9. And breathing out, 9. Breathing in, 9. And breathing out, 9. Nine. Nine. 9. 9. And now before we begin the final breath, what we'll do together is pull in deeply, all as much breath as we can, really filling the stomach, letting it come up to the head. And then when we are ready and we allow for our final release, we'll let it all whoosh, whoosh out. So breathing in for one final time, 9. And breathing out, 9. Wonderful work, everyone. Coming back to center now. And taking a moment to let the body relax completely. Relaxing and releasing the feet. Relaxing and releasing the legs, the knees, the hips, the thighs. Releasing sacrum energy and relaxing into the stomach. Relaxing and releasing into the heart and the chest. Relaxing and releasing the neck and the shoulders. And the head, the face, the skin of the scalp. Relaxing, releasing. moving deeper into the body, the skin and the tissue, and the muscle and the bone. Welcoming in a sacred cosmic rest. And coming into a kind of neutrality to the body, allowing for the body to simply exist. This body, which is your vessel, your container, that has an importance, that makes its beauty inherent. And with the divine truth of our bodies, of their very existence, and of the important functions that they do to keep us living, we also recognize the mind that is held in this body, the air element that thinks and logics out our universe, our understanding, our perceptions, and our processing of the external world around us. Our bodies rest, and so do our minds. As we move into dream time, our body and mind alike working together as the engine of our existence and consciousness. And together we are like one grand grouping of minds and engines, moving relationally through this grand universe. All of us, thought engines, consciousness translators. Moving now deeper still into the duality of you and the Libra consciousness, the balance of your two legs, your two arms, your two eyes, and your two ears. Feeling your symmetry and your asymmetry. The two-ness of you. You are standing in two places at once, always, with the past behind you and the future ahead of you. Duality upon duality. And right now you are at rest. The earth beneath you holding in place as the sky above you is tucked around you like a cozy blanket. Duality of earth and sky, universe holding you in. Zeroing in now on our two ears, we take a moment and check in with the energy of the ear chakra. Two wheels connected by one cylinder, and the back of the forehead. The ears, which hold the reception of others' thoughts, of others' words, of others' air. The ears, which are in touch with the lessons we receive, whether they are the right lessons or the wrong lessons. Our ears, which are a major part of our clairaudience and our connection and translation of the understandings of our environments. These ears that also connect us to Source, to the listening of the divine and the listening of our intuition. There are times when these ears were sensitive or injured. What memories do these ears hold? What words have stuck? Perhaps injustices witnessed, heard, experienced. Perhaps there are some good memories, some songs, good news. We take a moment now and process the energy and weight and status of our ears, connecting to the way in which our listening is deeply rooted and rerouted to our thoughts. Hold space for the self that heard things that were unfair, and hold space for the self that may have never had the chance to listen to your own voice, or grieves missed opportunities, or still tries desperately to hear the whisper of self. And we are welcoming a Libra-like balancing now to the voices that we have heard and the voices within that remain unexpressed. And let the air move. You may want to breathe it out. Or you may imagine webs and wings and feathers kind of sealing over the cracks of our ears, of our thoughts, of our memories. As we are retipping the scales of the ears, bringing them into balance. And as we are moving into this balance, we are also welcoming the balance of the justice of self, holding space for the self that never had the chance to speak, holding space for your divine truth, waiting to be heard, waiting to be counted on these scales. We recognize the truth that came with the storing of our voice, of our thoughts, of our memories, of our hearing mind. And we return this truth to ourselves as we balance under this new moon in Libra. For under the blanket of this dark new moon in Libra, now is our time to remember that we are divine children of the universe, and that every moment is a new opportunity to finally rest and to finally listen to the self. Whether that is a young child, a recent adult, or anyone in between. And as we are welcoming in this rebalancing and this remembrance of our duality, we also welcome the divine inner child of the universe reflected back. Honoring the inner child that was afraid of their own reflection and afraid of their own voice. We welcome back love and attention to the self in all ways and all reflections. We welcome peace We welcome rest and invite now that our inner child has a space for love and comfort and no longer needs to hold on so tightly to the listening of our own thoughts and our own memories. I will now offer a Reiki healing to the group. Beginning with sacred sprays of rose water. Welcoming in a sprayed perfume as well, for blessing, for anointment, for activation. And offering as well a smoke cleanse. This is a great time if you have your tools as well. You can either hold a crystal to your heart, to your head, to your throat, to your ear, or you can do work on yourself as well while I do the work on you. There you have it, dual flame, of course. I mean, sending energy your way with this Lemurian wand, opening barcodes of activation. With the energy of the moon, the energy of your ascension, and of the golden ratio. Pulling anything out and throwing it to the fire now. Blessing you now with a fossilized whale ear for that deeply empathetic, empathic, emotional, intuitive listening of the whale masters. Remembering to like the sound of your own voice. Remembering to believe yourself, not believe those who would have you not like yourself, or those who would think that you are bad. Listen, listen, listen to the self instead. Awakening upper chakras. Great work. Inviting its well removal of any energy that does not serve you with hematite and obsidian. Scraping everything away that you don't need. Oh, wow, that's powerful. Very good work, everyone. Sending you any final energy of removal. Boundaries and protection and creation. Blessing you with a gentle calmness, this lovely married couple with lepidolite skulls. Wonderful work, everyone. Now we will draw around you a kind of protective seal that will hold all of that wisdom that you have gathered and all of that healing. Beginning with this Lemurian kind of stepladder, almost laser point, sealing you in. And now sending a few points of just activation, like a little battery, extra battery power. One more sealing. And a little bit more extra battery power anywhere else that you might need. Very powerful download from the sky. And again, one final. Any points that you need, allow them to now receive this. One final sealing with a strophalite, power from the stars. Feeling your energy in with deep, deep protection. One final download. Now we'll just fluff that aura, really bring your energy and vibration up as high as it's willing to go. Kind of fluffing out the sheets and fluffing the pillows and whoosh, making your bed again with all this extra power and strength. Perfect. Well done, everyone. Well done. Let us allow now, as we are coming to the close of this first meditation, for one final powerful upgrade of our upper chakras, our throat chakra, our heart chakra, our third eye, our heart, our throat, our third eye, and our crown, all turning on and glowing, fluorescent like the stars, and twinkling. So we become one of many in the blanket of the dark new moon in Libra. Our stars aligning and our stars shining. And as some of the many stars, we, each and every one of us, are mechanisms of the integration of thought expressed, thought understood, and the integration of softness and newness that comes in remembering the divine truth and calling justice back to ourselves. Our Aries chakras become like beloved stars, twinkling with new promise. As we now and forever allow ourselves to remember and rewrite our story into the future, always. Thank you so much to each and every one of you. We are now at our break at the end of our first meditation. We'll leave the music on until we begin the second meditation. If you would like to stay in touch, you're welcome to sign up for my newsletter, which is on my website. And again, thank you for being a part of this. I see someone on Facebook says, thank you, beautiful blessings and love. Thank you so much. Glad you could join us. Yes, and if you are able to leave a donation, you're welcome to do so. I see someone says, I so needed to be here right now. Amazing. Thank you so much. I get it. Sometimes we just need that moment, and it's just comes together for us. Thank you, and thank you for joining. I'm grateful that this work helps in any way. Thank you. Okay. Perfect. I think we're good on everything, so the music can switch over. Perfect. Thank you. All right, I just need to do one thing quickly and then we will begin. Okay. Someone said they just Venmo'd. Thank you so much for the donation. I truly appreciate it, as it does help me with keeping up the costs of the business and as an appreciation of my work. So thank you. I really appreciate, I shouldn't say it over and over again, but thank you. It means a lot. It really does. So thank you. And someone says, I was feeling anxious all day today. Now I have an overwhelming sense of peace through my body. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. I understand feeling anxious. I feel like there's so much going on, even beyond the personal. So it's completely understandable. And I'm glad that in some way we could move that. I'm glad that it could be moved, because you deserve to feel that peace. Absolutely. Thank you. And again, thank you to those who sent donations. Since it's the recording, I'm just referring to you anonymously, but I appreciate you. I appreciate you signing up for newsletters. I appreciate you signing up and sending in your donations. It means a lot. I mean, all right. If you can't, I understand as well. Okay. So, yes, hearts. Thank you, hearts. Absolutely. Thank you. All right, so for the second one, we'll begin with a prayer, and then we'll move into the work. We're going to be working with every face of Venus that I could think of that I work with. But if you have other ones you work with, for example, or any goddess really, if Yemaya wants to work with you, and that's part of your ancestry, work with her. Really anyone, they're all welcome. Excuse me for the good Lord. Okay. So I'll begin by calling in the 7 directions. Calling in the north, the place of the ancestors. Calling in the east, the places of new beginnings. Calling in the south, the place of the fire. And calling in the west, the place of endings. Calling in the below, the place of all living things on this earth. Mother Gaia, Pachamama, Ninhursag, Hathor. Calling in the land that we're living on, that some of us are unwelcome guests, perhaps even colonizers at times, and some of whom are the indigenous keepers of this land. We honor the land that we are on as stewards, fully respecting the history of the land in which we sit, the territories in which we are a part of. And we also call in the above, Uranos, Father Sky, Anu, Allah El Karim, And at center, we call in our hearts, the seventh direction. We call in now each and every one of your guides, calling in your animal friends, your birds, your cats, your dogs, your deer, your horses, your bears, your aquatic animals, the fish, the dolphins, the whales, calling in the reptiles, the crocodiles, the snakes. And the small animals too, the rabbits and the mice. Calling in the great little people, your elves, your fairies, your gnomes, your dwarves, your jinn, your Anunnaki, your star people. Your leprechauns, your menehune. Calling in any of your elementals, angels, gods, goddesses, and ancestors in their wellness, their ancient ancestors, as well as any ancestors that are yours that you would like to have with you today. I call in my guides as well. The leopard, the lion, the tiger, the jaguar. Calling in jackal, coyote. Calling in the doves. The crocodiles. The horses. The whales. Calling in my patron deity Ninurta, the thunder god, and calling in the great goddesses Ishtar, Inanna, Isis, Aset, Hathor, Sekhmet, Bastet, Freya, Frigga, Shaktima, Durgama, Kalima. And of course, Artemis, the great moon. I offer a humble invocation. Lady Isis, O thou queen of love and mercy, thou crowned with the throne, thou hauled as with the moon, thou whose countenance is mild and glowing, even as grass is refreshed by rain. Hear me, Lady Isis. Hear and save, Lady of the amber skin. As we receive thee into our hearts, we ask that you never leave us in times of trial and joy and even unto death. You who is the grail of glory, the flame and fueler of our breath. Amen. Let's take a moment to work with the breath. One deep breath in and one deep breath out. And one more. As we close our eyes now in this room, we may feel that there are wings growing upon our backs, bird-like dove wings, angel wings, feathered and light but dexterous, built to fly high. Our wings unfurl, and we feel ourselves taking flight up and out of this room. We are flying through the skies, past the night clouds, and into a celestial rainbow realm, a place in which dawn is always rising and the sun is always setting, with fractals of all colors of the light spectrum, gently moving through the clouds. A place of beloved paradise. We move through this land, this celestial realm, towards a place that will be our temple of this new moon in Libra. We find ourselves at a golden gateway, and a peacock stands at the door to let us in. Before us stands a palace of pearl and diamond with a pyramid at the center. May we take in the many details of this place, of the reflected light, of the sparkles of the rainbows. And when we are ready, we will enter this castle in the skies, made just for us. Taking in everything in this chamber that has been placed for you, decorated. And you see before you now the many goddesses: Isis, Hathor, Ishtar, Freya, Frigga, Venus, Aphrodite, Shakti Ma, Durga Ma, Kali Ma, and the many others. They invite you to rest comfortably with your wings and greet you with a great love in each and every one of their hearts. You see them now as they pick up from the ground a small parcel that they place into your palms. And you see that it is a lump of clay. Which you are now invited to use as your tool as you go through this ceremony to mold into whatever you please without thinking, simply allowing your spiritual hands to create. As the goddesses now stand in a circle around you and recount the story of your creation, how you were lovingly molded out of clay, creating your spirit, your everything, with love and the hearts of the ancestors and the power of the kings and queens of the natural world. They speak with love the story of how you grew up, the story of how you became yourself, recounting your trials and tribulations with laughter and joy, love, seeing, and appreciation. And as they joyfully, lovingly share your story, the goddesses now impart and share any wisdom advice that was meant specifically for you on this new moon in Libra. And as they are speaking, your hands are working with this clay, molding, perhaps even if you do not know what is being made. You are receiving and you are creating. The goddesses ask now if they can cradle you, and if you permit them to do so, they will lift you and carry you in their arms. As you yourself are now as light as a feather. In the arms of the goddesses, you feel the full weight of your thoughts, feeling and understanding, as these goddesses appreciate you within your boundaries. All of your deepest memories and your strongest selves are as light as a feather and effortless to hold. The goddesses whisper that sometimes you have trouble with others because you have trouble with yourself. And remind you of the deep importance of accountability. That is an accountability to yourself, to your behavior, to your actions. That is the love of accountability. But is also the accountability to others, to work for them, or to walk away from those who are not deserving of your power. Remembering that all of this is held in also repairing that trouble with yourself, repairing and healing the love that you have for yourself. The goddesses now offer an intense lightness to discernment in our eyes and ears and tongue. Discernment to know the most just action instantly, like a magnet in our mind. Our thoughts blessed with the lightness of understanding justice completely and easily. And the willingness to act accordingly with no hesitation. The goddesses now ask if they can glamour you in this new moon for the future. And with your permission, they will bathe you and dress you. Isis and Ishtar, queens of heaven, queens of the stars, wash your feet. Freya, Hathor, mold you with brushes and makeup, working at the skin level, the heart level, the mind level. And reminding us as they mold us with a glamour of magic that we, like ourselves, that we are at one with the importance of beauty and romance, of sumptuousness, and of balance. They allow for the opportunity to feel safely beloved in community and friendship under the loving gaze of divine partnership and parentship. Opening an opportunity to be balanced in our view of inner and outer beauty. Before us now, there is suddenly a great radiance, a kind of star appearing before us in this temple of the new moon in Libra, this palace made of pearl and diamond. This star grows and grows like a supernova, shifting and changing with vibrant color. Starting small and getting bigger and bigger until it appears before us as Ma'at, the great goddess of justice, with her wings as shining like a bird of paradise. Goddess of truth, justice, balance, and order, Ma'at joins us today, inviting us to be open and accepting, open and accepting, open and accepting. We are open and accepting of all reality as it is, of our power and our control. And Ma'at invites us to restore our balance, restore our universe, and to take back the reins of our mind. And for a moment, we simply sit in the trance of her message, of being open to restoring our power, our control, our balance, our universe. And now Ma'at asks you, when and why did you stop believing that it was okay to take your own side? In the past, we are sometimes taught that our boundaries are not important, but others are. In the face of injustice, we must always remember and realize that to create our reality, we must be in connection with the power of the heart, the power of our mind, and the power of our perspective. We must take our own side as equally as we take others' side. She invites you now to open your hands, and you see that you are holding the mold of your new creation, a reflection of yourself in a small statue, or a symbol, or an animal, or a creature that has meaning to you. Ma'at reminds you the importance of respecting your reflection and of all reflections that have been molded by these goddesses, by you and by others. Together you see that this being that you have created is opening an eye, and its pupils meet yours. And you come to understand that there is magic in the middle, magic in the meeting of all things. Magic in the meeting at the middle of the scales that balance. All weights and stories falling now into place. And Ma'at now offers you a scale to sit on across from the heart. Across from the feather of an eagle. And you see that you have been blessed to be fully balanced, as light as a feather. And the goddesses rejoice and give you great love for all that you have accomplished. The goddesses now offer you a final moment to share their wisdom, to share their power, as Ma'at places a lapis lazuli tear at the back of your head as a boon and a blessing for the future to come. And they remind you that the tower is built and the tower falls. The cycles continue and the lessons are precious. You are not beholden to the past. Instead, may your future be blessed with the glamour and the beauty and the deep, deep knowledge that you deserve to succeed and achieve. And that you are not beholden to the expectations of anyone, past, present, future. It is only you, always. You are taken in one last time into a deep embrace with the goddesses, when you are ready, I will count down from 10 to 0, and we will return to this space and this time. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. All right, the music can stop now. And thank you again for being a part of this space. I'll give everyone a minute to collect themselves, and if anyone would like to share before we close the ceremony, you're welcome to do so. Again, thank you to those who have donated, and if you feel that you are able to and would like to donate to the work we've done, may that abundance flow back to you as you share it with this practice. Okay. I saw some hearts on Facebook from Joanna. Melissa said her shoulder was hurting. I'm sorry to hear that, Melissa. I hope that maybe a little ice and a little bit of kind of like some healing salve will help with that. I'm not sure if anyone else would like to share. Melissa says, thank you, so needed. And purple hearts and flowers. I mean, thank you, Melissa. Thank you for being here. I'm so grateful to have shared today. Thank you. Happy you could make it. Katya says, so magical, magically soothing, comforting, calming, peaceful, serene, and tranquil. Thank you so much. Thank you, Katya. Thank you. I'm grateful for that. I feel like that's at the heart of Libra, is to just be at peace a little bit. So thank you. I'm glad that tranquility could find you. Melissa says, I'm glad I found you. Thank you, Melissa. I'm glad that you found me too, and I'm glad to have found you as well. Thank you. Summer says, I realized I am slightly controlled by my impulses. This meditation allowed me to step back and see the effects it's had on my life, hoping to be able to stay back. and watch the impulses before I act on them. I love that. I totally understand that, Summer. I find circular thinking is really, it's kind of like, I don't know, the monkey on our back, right? That we have to grapple with sometimes. And I think that the work of understanding it, of trying to relate to it enough that we can continue to step back. I'm grateful that that realization could come to you. That is an important step on the journey. And you will continue to, practice it. And I applaud you. That's some warrior wisdom you're taking on. But I think that it will be so beneficial to you. And I think that this realization is really going to be the first step to figuring it all out. So I applaud you for coming to that understanding. And I wish you the best of luck, especially as you're in this solar return and kind of lunar return in a way. I wish you so much strength in continuing to watch the impulses. Thank you. Katya says, love, light, and peace. Bye, everyone. Goodbye. But yes, I mean, thank you, Summer. Okay. Perfect. My one plug for those who are still here, if you have liked my work and you'd like to learn more, we are going to be holding a paid number of classes in October and November. I'm more than willing to discuss scholarship opportunities, and I'm more than willing to discuss payment plans or, reduced rates. So if you want to learn more about the magic of Babylon, specifically working with alchemy and working with exorcism, which was considered the name for the healing work done in Babylon, you're welcome to join. It will begin on October 6th. The first month is talking about the basically generalities of Babylon and kind of, evil eye, protecting from evil eye and things like that, which goes all the way back to then, and talking about alchemy. And then the second month, we'll discuss specifically exorcisms and how to handle them and how to do them. And it's kind of a mix of shadow work, and it talks about demonology for a bit, and then how that demonology works for us right now as we're practicing kind of in medicine work. So you're welcome to join if that and all interests you. And it's on my website. I see Summer says, thank you so much. Your words and space have been so healing and helpful. Thank you again. Thank you, Summer. I'm glad that you could be in this space. Makes me happy to see you. So thank you. And I'm grateful that I could be helpful in any way too. So wishing you just all the best, truly. And I know that your journey will take you where you need to go. Absolutely. Thank you. And Zoom user also says thank you. Thank you, Zoom user. Okay, so let's go ahead and close the circle. You can do so by kind of reaching out, holding my hands, putting your hands at your heart, or kind of reaching out, and we'll sort of hold each other's hands in space. And together, let us all take a moment with gratitude for this new moon in Libra that we have all found ourselves under, welcoming in the love, welcoming in the understanding that this journey is no walk in the park, and at the same time, as above, so below, it is always a walk through paradise. May we find within ourselves the strength to keep going every single day. May we find within us the love and the glamour and the joy that is the grace of Libra. May your heart always be blessed, always be open, and always be just as it was meant to be, and just where it was meant to be. May you find everything you need on this lunar cycle. And if I hope to see you again, but if I do not, may your path walk be blessed always. I bow humbly to each and every one of you for being a part of this space. Thank you. Thank you so much for sharing this time with me. And thank you so much from my heart to your heart. I send love, shungo, amin, aho. Thank you. Thank you for everything. Wishing you a wonderful, wonderful evening to come. Take care, everyone. And goodbye.